In nature, nothing is perfect, yet everything seems to be. Her love for flowers, her unique way of expressing herself through her art is just a glimpse into the life of a historical figure who not many know about. That's why I'm here. You know the drill. I'm Audrey Chalangat, and this is Nature's Journal. A serene place, frozen in time, where you feel like you've experienced time travel and you find yourself somewhere in the past. For those of you wondering where we are, we're here in Karen Blixen. And if you don't know who Karen is, sit back, relax, and learn. Hi!
Welcome to Karen Blixen.
Thank you.
Can I please take your temperature?
Yeah.
How
Hello.
are you?
I'm fine.
Welcome to the Karen Blixen Museum.
Thank you.
Yeah, have you ever been here?
No, actually.
Okay.
This place looks really interesting from the get-go, you know?
Oh, it is, it is. This is a place where the person who Karen is named after lived. So we're going to show you her house, where she used to live, where, where she used to stay.
Yeah.
Her farm machinery that she used to use around here.
Oh.
It's going to be a pretty interesting journey for you.
I agree.
Yeah.
We're going to get to learn a lot about what she
There's
did.
so much to learn here. So I'm going to give you the ticket, then I'll give it to Kepa to show you around.
Okay.
We love visitors here.
Oh, that's
And we
great.
charge only 200 shillings for locals, so it's very affordable. So anyone can come here. It is quite accessible.
Yeah, and this place is really historic, so there's a lot to learn.
It is. It belongs to the National Museums of Kenya. That's our parent organization. Yeah, so historic.
Yeah, very historic. We're here having an interview with this fine gentleman who's made time for us and is here to tell us more about Karen and what she did around here. Hello.
Hi,
What's your name?
my name is Kefa, Mageto Kefa.
Well, I'm Audrey.
Nice meeting you, Audrey.
And how long have you been working here?
I've been working here for almost a year now. I take people around in the house and tell them what the house and this place entails.
Ah,
Yeah.
so is there anything you could tell us about Karen? Because I hear she's a really big historical figure.
She came to this place in the early 1900s and started coffee cultivation, and with the coffee cultivation got to meet a lot of people, the local people over here, and she gained a lot of fame
So she
during
became
her
famous.
stay in this place. Yeah, I'm just going to tell you the history about her, how she came from Denmark. She was Danish.
Oh, she was Danish.
Coming to this place and all that she did on this place. She was from Denmark and she was born there in the year 1885 on the 17th of April. She was the second born in the family. Karen Blixen came from a well-off family.
Oh, so she was like quite rich, so she could be able to own a house like this,
Exactly. The father worked in the Danish army, and after retiring from the Danish army, he came back at home and became a politician. So the Densen name, that's the family name, was well known all over Denmark.
Because he's been in the army, he's a politician, he's
And
doing a
after
lot
the
of
army,
things, right?
with politics, so the family name became very famous over there. And the mother came from a rich merchant's family. They were traders, well known all over Europe.
So did she ever trade this coffee that she made in her farms?
Yeah, she did. So she came from Denmark in the year 90. Back in Denmark, when she was young, she was from school. And when she attained the age of 18 years old, she joined the Royal Copenhagen Academy and studied literature and art. So she was a great painter. We have some of the paintings, some of the prints of the paintings that she did. We'll show you those.
Oh, that's really cool. So she just liked to paint in her free time, and
Yeah,
she also
she
made
studied art.
She studied art. So
Yeah,
she
and after
made
school, when after she was done with school, it was part of the passion. So she did a lot of painting. She was also an author. You know, she studied literature. So she was an author. She wrote 9 books in total.
9?
Yeah, 9 books.
What were they about?
Some of the books, like Out of Africa, which is converted into a movie, talks about her life here in Kenya.
In Kenya.
And the rest, they are fictional.
So they're about like other people she's made up? Like
Yeah, fictional. Yeah, the things. She was a good storyteller, so all the stories that she used to tell, all those things, that's how she wrote the books from those.
Could you tell us about maybe her life here, who she stayed in this house with? Anybody?
She came to this place in the year 1928. No, sorry, 1913, when she was 28 years old, and got married to a Swedish baroness by the name of Baron Blixen. So when they
So
were
that's why this place is named Karen Blixen, yeah?
no, I stay here. She stayed here for 17 years, owning the entire place. That's 6,000 acre piece of land.
6,000 acres?
Yeah, 6,000 acres. That's what we now call Karen. That's where Karen got the name from.
So she built the whole Karen like just by owning all her farmland?
She only lived in this place. Then that piece of land, part of which was used for coffee cultivation, the remaining part of land where the local people lived here. But she owned the entire piece of land.
Oh, she owned all of it, right?
Yeah, and the people that lived here were quite close to her. She helped them a lot with education, medication, and solving disputes among them, so that when she left, they decided to convert this place into Karen. They named it after her
to honor her, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about this coffee farm of hers. She did coffee trading, like she gave the coffee to the local people who lived here, or did she sell it to?
She sold the coffee to London. Most of the people in Kenya were not doing coffee at the time. Most of the people were doing tea, and they were taking tea. And there wasn't a lot of coffee market here in Kenya. So she owned, out of the 6,000 acres that she owned, she used 600 acres to plant coffee. All she did was dry the coffee beans, you know, removing the pulp out of the seed.
So that
then the inner seed, you dry it. Then after drying the seeds, she sold the seeds to London for further processing. So in London, the coffee was roasted and grinded and then sold from there to the rest of the world.
So her coffee traveled the world basically?
Yes, it did.
So that added on to her being famous, and it allowed her to gain this reputation that she has.
Yeah, all over the world. And in this place, with the coffee cultivation, employing the local people, you know, 600 acres, she employed a lot of people.
So she added to our economy.
Exactly.
Was she any sort of an important person in the society?
Here in Kenya?
Yeah.
Yes, she was. I stay here basically. I've told you about starting medication, you know, hospitals and schools and everything to the local people. She was, and she was also a baroness.
Oh, she was a baroness?
She was a baroness.
Because she was married to
a baron, a Swedish baron, and so getting married to a Swedish baron, she became a baroness. Yeah.
Is there much that you can tell us about her family life? Because this is quite a big house, so she has to have been somebody in there, right?
Yeah. In the family, there are 5 in number. There were 3 ladies and 2 men, and she was the second one in the family. So the rest of the family members, they stayed back in Denmark, and some of them helped with the family business, that's trading.
So they were like taking in the beans and making sure they made their way around the world?
No, not really. Trading. They were the family. They were traders.
Trading other things.
Yeah, other things back at home. And coming to this place, the mother did visit from time to time, because the mother also helped with the coffee plantation, the company. And the brother also visited here. From the year 1921 to 1923, the brother stayed here. He came here and helped Karen to construct that's a factory that they could use to dry coffee.
So she, instead of doing it manually, they did it with machines, right?
Exactly. And we have a sample of the machine. Yeah, over here we are going to show you the sample of the machine here.
What about her social life? Is there other people she was married to other than the baron?
No, she was only married to the baron. And she had a relationship with a different man. That's Dennis Finchaton.
What happened to him?
Who was from England. Yeah, he was British from England. They had a relationship between the year 1922 to 1931. And during that time, Dennis came and stayed here with Karen. That's after Karen had divorced the baron. So during the 9 years, they stayed here together, and Dennis was trying to help Karen to run the company. But in the year 1931, Dennis died on a plane crash in Tsavo National Park. And Karen buried Dennis here in Kenya on top of Ngong Hills.
Oh, in Ngong Hills?
Yeah, Ngong Hills. That was their most favorite place where they could go for picnics mostly. And the grave is still there. There's an obelisk erected there. It's marked, and people visit the place from time to time. So after that,
So you can go and visit him and pay your respects as well?
Yes, you can.
What happened to Karen after she went to Sweden? I mean, after she went to Denmark?
Karen left and went back to Denmark 1931, and in Denmark, Karen started writing books.
Oh, she went back to her literature side?
Yes. The first book she published was The Seven Gothic Tales, 1934. Then later on in the year 1937, the book Out of Africa came out, her most famous work.
Yeah, even I've heard of it.
Was later on converted into a movie, that's Out of Africa, starring Robert Redford and Mary Streep. So she never got time to come back to this place because she was busy trying to market her books. Remember, in the early 1900s, that's 1920s, 1930s, women were not considered to be authors. That's why she wrote under the pseudonym Isaac Dennison.
Ah, so she had a pen name and she used to write her books under that name.
Yeah, she used Isaac Dennison, some she used Tanya Blixen or Pierre Andersen. So she planned on coming back, but she died before finishing all the marketing and selling the books and coming to this place.
How old was she when she died, and where was she buried?
She died at the age of 77 years old. That's the 7th of September 1962 in Denmark, where she left the home. That's north of Copenhagen, a place known as Wongsted. That's where she
died
was buried.
in her homeland, right?
Yes. So when she left in the year 1931, you know, she had to sell the entire 6,000 acre piece of land that she had to settle the debts that the company was undergoing, leaving and going back to Denmark. The house was converted into a housing estate. Different people lived in it. All the way later on, the Danish government bought the house. You know, when she went back at home, she gained a lot of fame.
Yeah.
With the women empowerment. She was also a baroness. Remember, the father was a politician, so the Dennison name was well known in Denmark. That's why later on our image was used in the stamps and also the currency. There's a 50 Danish krone note.
Her face or her name is on a
Her
money?
face is on a currency, 50 Danish krone note. So after she died back at home, the house there was converted into a museum. In the year,
as well as this one?
Yeah, in the year 1985, after the filming of the movie, that's when this house was also converted into a museum to preserve history in this place. Yeah.
So they turned one of her books into a movie, and
Yes.
they were able to put this historic place frozen in time so we could all see it?
Yes, exactly.
I can't believe that Karen has managed to gain this much fame here in Kenya and all the way back in Denmark, her home country. She managed to find her face on currency, and she even has her house as a museum over here. Isn't that so cool? I wish I could be famous like that. People would really know me, and I'd be a historic woman. Now, we can go ahead and see the machines that she used to farm her coffee in her coffee farm.
So this is a 1922 Fordson tractor model F that she used to patrol the land.
So it's about 100 years old almost?
Almost 100 years old, we can say 99 now.
Wow. Did she actually use this on her farm, like for coffee farming and
Not for farming, for moving around.
Oh, because her land is like a lot.
6,000 acres to move around, having to patrol it, you needed something to move around with.
So she used to ride on this tractor?
Yeah.
So this tractor is looking very interesting. Like, it looks quite similar to our current tractors, but there's some features where I'm a bit skeptical.
It was constructed this way for easy navigation through the land. It has steel wheels and rails on it. That's for easy navigation. And with such a tractor, you cannot get a flat tire.
No, there's nothing to flatten.
Yeah.
What about the engine? It's like seems to be out and exposed. would there not be something to cover it up?
No. The engine is not exposed. It's okay that way. It's a petrol and diesel engine. You have to start it. You have to crank it from the other side before starting it.
Oh, and you could also steer on it, so it was sort of similar to a car in a sense?
Yeah, but a little bit complex.
Yeah. So how exactly would you move around in this thing?
So from the other side, that's where you crank it to start. And we have the gear over there, and the brakes and everything.
So you could also brake with it and just move around simply?
Yes.
So this wasn't just like something very straightforward. It was more complex, and you would have to put in more.
Everything that we have these days is simplified. But with this, you have to go a step further.
And what are these next machines?
These are plows, furrow plows. The furrow plows were used to clear the land before coffee was cultivated. They were also being pulled by the oxens. Exactly. When coming here, there were trees around. Trees had to be cut down, then the land had to be dug, cultivated before
they could be able to
planting the coffee. Exactly.
So these were used to like plant the coffee, right?
Yes.
Like prepare the
soil prepare the land before planting the coffee.
So how did it work?
From the other side, somebody had to control from the other side, and then the oxen, were connected to the other side. So the oxens will help in that's pulling these wagons, and then this could help in digging the land.
Because it can chew into the land and make sure there's.
Yes.
Okay. It took only one person at the back, and then how many oxen?
6 to 10 oxen, a total number of 6 to 10
so much
oxen.
less than the wagon, right?
Yeah. This is the most simplified one. You can see you just connect it to the oxen over the other side,
and then
there's somebody who controls from the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
It does look like it would be quite easy to maneuver, to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe I could work on a farm someday.
Yes, you could. But nowadays everything is simplified. We have tractors to dig around.
Yeah.
They had to go a step further to do all this during that time.
Yeah. It was a lot more effort, but it was always worth it.
Yes, it was.
Was truly magnificent. She was able to use these machines to be able to plow her land and grow her coffee. Then, after drying it, she transported it with those wagons that were pulled by around 20 oxen. Isn't that just so many? She must have had a lot of animals. Then, to be able to maneuver around her land, she went onto her tractor. Those are so many machines that she was using back in the 1920s. Why don't we go see what else she did in the 1920s and see her house and the paintings that are in there.